Hello, everybody. It's meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Let's talk weather. I had a chance to talk to the weather today at the Fargo Self-Directed Academy. A lot of middle schoolers and I having some fun, and we have some storms brewing in our forecast after a cool day with showers. Details in your forecast are coming up right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, for Leonardo DiCaprio and myself, we hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Some much needed rain shower activity made its way through as we went through the day today. Thanks again for the invitation to talk to your class today. It was a lot of fun out there, and I got to tell you what, the weather has kept us a little bit busy too. And we'll get started with a look around the region at what's going on with regards to our weather. But first, let's take a look at what we have going on in the forecast for tonight, because we are talking about some temperatures on the backside of the system that will be cooling down below freezing. Where you see the blue colors here, that's a warning that you want to bring the tomato plants inside, or whatever plants you might be putting outdoors right now, because things are a little on the chilly side out there. We have a north wind that will be gusty at times. We could be seeing a few areas with some gusts over 30 miles per hour, particularly on the northern Minnesota area, as we'll see temperatures falling into the mid 30s. Now, it will be milder down to the south as the coldest of the air kind of stalls out right here. And as we go through the day, your temperatures will not warm up too much. We're talking about a Wednesday where we'll see close to 60 degrees in Fargo, Fergus Falls, and down towards the Benson and Morris areas. Still near 70 in the Twin Cities. But look at the cool pool up here. 40s up in northern and northwest Minnesota and northeast North Dakota. A little bit of a rebound beginning out to the west, but look at all these 50s, almost smack dab equal from the James River Valley and the Cheyenne River Valley all the way out to Dickinson and, well, out near the beach, North Dakota area, where we're expecting a temperature of 73 degrees. All right, pulling up a couple of details with regards to our radar right now. This is what we're going to take a look at. And I do have some rainfall reports, so let's go take a look at the NDAWN, the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network's reports for rainfall across the area. Hutch measured 9/100ths is all in South Moorhead. Had a report of close to 1/2 of an inch in West Fargo, but we'll get an official report a little bit later. Now, as we take a look at rain gauges across the area, this is since midnight. So far today, this storm system started out west yesterday. So there were lofty totals out here that you will see in just 1 minute. But for today, a good 1/4 inch to 1/3 of an inch across parts of Cass County showing up. This does extend into Trail County and up north into Grand Forks County, up to about a 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch in the western and southern part of Grand Forks County out there today. Hey, everybody, if you're watching, give me a wave. Let me know where you're watching from. Did you measure anything in your rain gauge? That would sure help me know what was falling down to the ground out there. So if you do have a report, make sure you let me know. Carrington, 1300s reported by the NDAWN folks, 9/100ths in and around the Devil's Lake area. And as we look up to the north, look at this. We're talking up here in that Rolla, Rugby area, 4/10 to 7/10 of an inch of rain there, and just some spotty spits out to the west. But now when we take a look at the 2-day total, we start to see where the real moisture spread its way in. We'll point out to the west. And to point out, I'll pop myself back up here. Well, I was a little busy. Okay, as you take a look out to the west, 91/100ths to an inch or even more in a few spots in northwest parts of North Dakota. Absolutely much needed rainfall out there in that Dickinson area, Lake Sakakawea area, out the I-94 corridor, over a 1/4 of an inch in Dickinson, 2800ths there, 4100ths as you get out a little bit farther to the west, closer to Beach and the Billings, Golden Valley County areas. Now, here in the Red River Valley, we see that most of the rain fell today, so we're not going to see much of an addition on top of that, but a good 6 to 7/100ths as we go up to the north, not far from Bottineau County, as we take a look there. Now, in between rain gauges, Doppler radar can estimate some of the rainfall, so let's go over that, because that's always something that's very fun to look at, because we do get these pockets of heavy rain. And it is not out of the question to have one side of the town, for instance, see rainfall amounts that are significantly different than another side of the town. And in fact, when I got a report of 1/2 of an inch earlier in West Fargo, and I saw less than a tenth or right at a tenth here in parts of South Moorhead. It goes, what? But you know what? Showers can do that. So let's take a look at the storm total precipitation estimates. These are estimated by the Doppler radar, scan after scan, keeping its eyes on and counting raindrops, if you will. It's kind of what it's equal to. And let's take a look at that. So counting raindrops through the event here is what we've seen. And look at this. Rainfall amounts today, not showing much of anything down in the south part of the area here. Let me see if there's a timestamp on this. And nope, this radar STP. So all I'm going to be looking at here is the last few hours, it looks like. And look at north of Rugby. Look at up there where we see these purple and fuchsia colors. Belcourt, your area, up into the Candu, Rock Lake area in Towner County. How much is this purple? Well, that's upwards of 1 inch of rain estimated by radar there. And the Botno area, about 8/10 or 3/4 of an inch of rain. So not far from some of the measurements that we saw there. 2 to 3/100ths as we go into the orange and yellow colors. And that's what's sneaking out as we go into Nelson County, Grand Forks County, with a few pockets of heavier rain with estimates of around 4/10 of an inch. Go into that Crookston area. We see a little red circle north of town there as you go into northern and western parts of the Polk County area. We do have a good 1/2 inch of moisture showing up there. St. Hilaire 3/100ths and Thief River at 3/100ths as well. So that's a look at the rainfall from this particular system. Now we are getting some more narrow bands of heavy showers here, and that's more equivalent to what we see when we get some thunderstorms rumbling through. Here is a look at the latest radar to get you caught up with what's going on right now across the region, and we'll look at temperatures next. First, as we take a peek at the radar, it's still showing some good old flakes of flying up there in parts of Manitoba with a heavier rain making its way through the Winnipeg area. Otherwise, the northern plains seeing a smattering of showers along the international border, hit and miss sprinkles out in the western regions of Nebraska, not far from Scottsbluff, not far from North Platte. Grand Island, Omaha Point South seeing some sprinkles, but heavier rain showers pushing into Peoria, Illinois. And that's what's going on right now. Down in the deep south, we have some more potent storms that are firing up down in the Gulf Coast here. Alexandria, Louisiana to Birmingham, Alabama. Showers and rumbles of thunder taking place there. And we have an actual severe thunderstorm warning out there just a little bit north of DeKalb. As we look out into Texas, out in West Texas here, we get a dry line that forms this time of year. Humid air coming off the Gulf meets dry air rolling out of the Rockies. And on that boundary, we get some strong thunderstorm formation. These are capable of some serious hail out here. As we look up near Amarillo, we have a couple of hail reports. I'm going to take a look at what those are. Hail reports of 1 inch diameter hail out there in that let me see that. Clarendon area, my apologies for the mispronunciation, and Greenbelt Lake seeing some heavier hail storms. So that's what's going on nationwide. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with that snow in Manitoba. Since I do have some viewers up there, let's take a look at what's going on for your roads. Has it been snowing all day? Well, the radar says, yeah, it's been snowing quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and take a look and zoom in just a little bit farther here as we take a peek. Now, where you see the yellow roads, partially covered snow on the road surface reported by Manitoba's road folks up there. Now, as we take a look at some camera spots out here, let's go in just a little bit closer and see what these roads are looking like. Ugh. Okay, this is Highway 2, Highway 83, Oak Lake area, Manitoba roads. Looking a little less than spring-like up there for you folks up there, but at least it's still hockey season, right? With some good old hockey going on out there across the U.S. And a good luck to the old Wild tonight as they play. My Avalanche are caught in quite a battle as well. So that's a look at some roads up to the north. Now let's take a look at that hour-by-hour forecast, because as this storm system that's in our area right now works its way out, this little area of low pressure right here that you see, the circle, the bullseye, if you will, that's the low pressure center. It's really right smack over you folks in the Hallock and Kennedy area in Kitson County. Snowfall on this forecast in the blue and the green would represent some rain shower activity there. Now, as we put this pup into motion here, let me go to a model run that's going to take us out into tomorrow. There we go. I'm happy with this one. Okay, so as we set this into motion, what we're going to notice is this low pressure system will have south winds on this side of the storm. That's going to boost the temperatures and continue to keep things warm in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and much of eastern Minnesota. On the back side of the system, or the west side, we have a north flow out of Canada. And that cool air that's causing snow that we just looked at in western Manitoba is going to be diving southward. Now, this model continues to advertise a chance for a thunder shower or two as we work our way into the forecast period here. This is 2Z. Let's go a little bit farther in time here. There's 3Z. So this will be 10 o'clock at night. So 10 o'clock at night, look how close. Kissing some snowflakes in Rock Lake and Candu, mainly up in the Candu area. You get up into Langdon, maybe Valhalla. Look at this as we skirt this through. Will you see rain or snow? Ooh, the low pressure is lifting northward. So does the chance of precipitation. Notice how almost all of it will remain on the border or north of the border with this particular model. I do tend to agree that's where we've seen it. Hey, Becky, thank you so much for your report. Right now, dropping a 1/4 inch report here a few miles south of Bagley there in Clearwater County. That's right here for the rest of you, right here in that Bagley area. I really appreciate the report, Becky. Thank you so much. And you know what? There's parts of central Minnesota not far from you, particularly into Beltrami County, where the drought index has been peaked just a little bit. Hey, Detroit Lakes received 1,500s, according to Julia. Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, right here by Hutch's finger. Thanks so much for your report as well. And I do appreciate each of you taking the time to pass along those reports as well. Pardon me, continuing on with the forecast here. Well, let me see. I must have hit the wrong button on this puppy. Okay, so we're continuing on with the forecast as we go through. The snow showers will stay north of the border as the low lifts north. But what happens by daybreak? So as we go into 7 a.m., still some showers along the border north in northern Roseau County, northern Kitson County, Minnesota. We'll have a northeasterly flow, or westerly flow, I should say, working its way across our region. And that blue line that you see there, that's kind of the edge of the coolest of the air. And it kind of stays parked in the same spot throughout the day, if not slowly rising northward as we go through our Wednesday. What does that mean? Here in our southern valley counties, we'll warm up. Notice the isobars far apart in the afternoon, but in the morning here, as I back it up, really close together. So the gustiest of the winds from the north and northwest, and for some of you, west winds, will be in the morning hours. As we go towards noon here, the wind will be decreasing and less gusty, and the precipitation will be out of here. Then as we head into the evening hours, cool high pressure settles into the north. It will be a cool day, say north of Interstate 94, south of Interstate 94, a little more agreeable. So that's a look at your weather forecast there and the hour by hour details as we wind our way through. Our next chance of rain comes on Thursday. Here's what that looks like. Look where it's coming from the south. So our South Dakota and southern Minnesota counties will have the better chance at seeing some showers of rain on our Thursday night. Usually, and most models are indicating pretty late. Look at what's going on with the blue here, though, in the elevated terrain of the Black Hills. Springtime, challenging forecasting. Something else that we talked about today, Hutch's weather visit out there with our friends at Fargo's Self-Directed Academy out there. So had a chance to visit with all these very attentive students, awesome students. They had a lot of fantastic questions. They have so many skills, and many had a good grasp of what's going on in weather. I can tell it's something that they have been discussing in the classroom as well. So it was a lot of fun out there visiting with them, talking about some basic meteorology facts and some parts of Hutch's job that have been evolving over the last couple of years, as most of you know right here. Thanks again for the invitation. All right, so that is a look at what's going on there. Now, let's take a look at this long-range forecast on the 7-day forecast, because we do have some warm and thunderstorms in the forecast. The next couple of days, cool 50s will be the rule out there, but not far from 60 in Fargo. You'll be seeing some 40s up there near the international border as we go through the next couple of days. We start to increase the spiffiness of the forecast on Friday, 62 degrees. Then thunder, a chance as we go through your day on Saturday and Sunday. So a spotty nighttime thunder shower, not out of the question Saturday. Some scattered storms possible on Sunday as temperatures climb to 71. Sounds fun, with scattered thunder on Monday of next week. Yeehaw! But we do cool down a pinch as we go into the day on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, it's a big day. Why, you ask? Well, my friends at Gate City Bank have a 2-day event that's ongoing on the 23rd and the 24th. And tomorrow, on the 23rd, between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., good old Hutch will be practicing some fun sunshine banking at Gate City Bank's location, right across from the mall in Fargo there. That's at the Village West location. So swing on by from 1 in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon, but you can check out more details about this fine event by heading over to gatecity.bank/100. I hope to see you there. Come on by, say hi, and I know that you'll enjoy the offerings that they have for you. All right, let's take a look then at what's going on the rest of your forecast with a long range look real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. This is a climate forecast system as we're about ready to change the page and turn the page to a new month here. So why not take a sneak peek at what the month of May has in store? Are April showers going to bring May flowers, or do we have May snow in store? Let's take a look-see, shall we? We're going to look at the temperatures first, and as we go out into the thermal field, the warm stuff is the orange colors, the cold is the blue colors, and we'll see less and less of the blue as we close out the month, and more of the orange and the green. So milder weather will begin making its way in as we go in toward the end of the month. And in fact, Hutch sees a trend that shows that we could see some mighty mild weather as we go into about the 5th of the month. In fact, I would not be surprised to see some 75 to 80 degree readings as we go into that first week of May. A nice ridge of warm air works its way all the way up from the Central Plains and starts warming things up here in the north. Now, it continues into that first week, and as we go through the month, notice more red than blue on the screen here as we go through the first half of the month of May. Now, let's take a look at that storm track, and I'm not going to go out any farther than that just because the forecast accuracy out that far can be a little bit hit and miss at best on these models. But let's take a look. We have a passing storm that will work through and up its way into the southern part of the valley as we go into our Monday next week. And after that, we'll have hit and miss showers and storms continuing, moving out of Colorado as a low. So we will have a couple of chances as we close out the month of April. We'll see a couple more chances of rain, some of us getting thunder and scattered thunder showers. Then after that, high pressure moves in. We really warm up. We'll have a shot or two at rain as we work our way through, but it doesn't look to be as active of a pattern for most of the time period. Nothing a bullseye, nothing super duper heavy as we go through the first half of the month of May. And that allows for warm air. Do you see these red lines here? This represents the thickness of about the first 1/2 of the atmosphere. And when they start punching their way up into southern Canada, we know things are warming up significantly. So dare I say, there will be 80s on the way as we go into the month of May. Not going out on a limb. That's not unusual. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Get out and enjoy the weather out there. Things greening up in the FM area. Am I mistaken? Are you seeing the same thing? Pretty interesting. I see there's a thunderstorm watch that's been issued out in parts of Oklahoma and Texas for that line of storms that I was speaking of here a little bit ago. Then go ahead and get you off and out the door with that. Here is a look at the national area. We have a severe thunderstorm watch where the yellow boxes from Amarillo and Texas, and it does really skirt the Oklahoma border here as we go through. We do have a storm that is gone severe here, not far from, well, let's see where that is. That's the Clarendon storm that's working its way to the south of that area. Some big time hail from that. And down south of Odessa, we have 3 severe thunderstorms there. So a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for the next 6.5 hours for parts of West Texas. And that's the nation's weather. As snow flies just north of our border, we have severe weather down in the West Texas plains and flash flooding in that Mississippi Delta and many river channels there as they are rebounding from some very wet weather. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, thanking you for watching. You can always get the latest on hutchesweather.com. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Once again, follow on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and have a wonderful evening. I'll check back with a forecast update later.